What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel, recording live from the mothership. FIFA 21 Arsenal career mode. This here is episode 4. Yeah, we're only 4 episodes in, and I'm already lost track of how many episodes we're. I was gonna say 5, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, starting off our Europa League campaign here today. In our group, we have Braga, we have Nice. And we have another team that I'm not gonna lie, I ain't never heard of that other team, but that's a good sign because then it means we should be able to come away from that game with a win, but we ain't worrying about that right now. Starting off the campaign against Portugal's Braga. I can't tell you much about that lineup, to be honest. I don't watch Braga play. I can't remember the last time I watched Braga play. I rarely even watch the Portuguese league. If I ever do, it ain't Braga. It's usually Porto, to be honest. The only time I ever watch Portuguese league, it will probably be Porto playing. But this is the lineup we went with for our first Europa League game. A little bit of a mix of experienced players and players getting their chance to start. Martinelli leading the lineup there. Joe Willock coming in. Cedric making his first appearance of the series. And also we got Saliba in the back line and players like Kolasinac, as you can see, coming in. Willian also starting on the left-hand side. He's had a few chances, but his first start of the series and forcing a save out of the goalkeeper right there. Braga coming forward 22nd minute in, working a good chance and unable to hit the target from that one. Again, I don't really know the players, so I don't know if he is a player who would have usually scored that, or, you know, I don't know who he is. He ain't got a face. He's no one to me. He's no one to me. Surprisingly, though, the manager has a face. So maybe the Portuguese league's managers have faces, apparently, is what it is. But Willian, again, at the center of all things good so far for Arsenal, forces a save out of the keeper and actually resulting in a corner, which Pepe whips into the box, and a brilliant header from Pablo Mari, a player who I didn't mention was also starting in this game. First appearance of the series for Pablo Mari as well, and he finds the back of the net with a great header. Now, we had a comment about Pablo Mari saying that he is, you know, I mean, the subscriber is of the opinion that Pablo Mari is a pretty good player and suggested maybe we should play him a little bit more. And like I said, everybody will get their chance. Pablo Mari's getting his chance there, and if he plays well, you know, more chances could come. Anyone who plays well, more chances will come their way. For me, it's just like Pablo Mari, obviously, before joining Arsenal, I don't really know much about him. And since joining Arsenal, I still don't really know much about him. It's not necessarily that I'm saying he's bad. It's just we've seen nothing from him. I think the comment said in the game that he played for Arsenal, he looked good before he got injured. And it's like, fair enough, he looked okay. But, you know, he played, like, what, 2 games before he got injured? So, like, again, we still know nothing about him. Whereas Gabriel, on the other hand, Gabriel's looking fantastic for us since he started. I mean, it's been about the same amount of games, but he's actually looked fantastic. But second half begins, and Joe Willock doubles our lead. And Joe Willock, I mean, first highlight for him in pretty much this season. I mean, he came off the bench against Fulham, I think it was, and had a little bit of effect. But starting this game, and I have to say, Joe Willock was pretty good. I love these little runs. He was making these runs all game long, and this one resulted in a goal. Beautiful finish from the young English talent as well, and even better, look at that animation. Yeah, I know I'm a sucker for new animations, and I love that new animation right there. What a sweet hit into that top corner for the young English midfielder. And hopefully, again, I mean, he performs. So far, what I've seen from Joe Willock, I mean, we have so much. We have a lot of depth. I mean, it's not all world-class depth. A lot of it is potential players like Willock. But we have so much depth, it's kind of hard to get some players in. But Granit Xhaka stepping up. Talking about new animations, we just saw one with Joe Willock. Look at this for another new animation. Ain't seen this one before. It's kind of similar to ones that we've had previously, but that was just a beautiful finish from Granit Xhaka. The amount of technique in that shot right there, to pretty much outside of the foot, got it swinging out, curving outwards, just right. That is a beautiful finish. Skidding off, kept it low. Oh, what a finish from Captain Xhaka. I mean, if there's anyone on our team who could pull off a shot like that, it is Granit Xhaka. One of the better technical players in our side. So he puts us 3-0 up. I mean, after that Willock goal, it was kind of, you know, they kind of capitulated. But they did pull one back right here. down to me. A lot of the goals we've conceded so far this season have been down to my mistakes, where I've just been, you know, just mistakes. Just a one-off mistake, an individual error. I dove in right there with William Saliba, and I just exposed myself. And I shouldn't have done, because I know better than anyone, when you're playing on this ultimate difficulty, you can't dive in on them like that. Like I was saying in the last episode, you kind of just have to accept that the AI are going to have more possession than you, especially when they go into their moments where they kind of just hold onto the ball. You're not going to get it back until it's the perfect time to step in and challenge, or until they make a mistake. You kind of just have to accept that they're going to have the ball when they want the ball. That's the best way. If there's any advice I could give anybody for playing on the harder difficulties, that's it. You got to accept that you're not going to dominate possession. You kind of have to play the counter-attacking style. But a beautiful move again as Martinelli through on goal and finds the back of the net. El Neni did come off the bench and instantly involved in the play, playing a beautiful through ball into Gabriel Martinelli, and that one came straight from the goalkeeper right there. Another attack being built up from the back, and that's us playing the Arsenal way. Protect the values. This right here, you're seeing it firsthand, giving chances to the young players, playing out the back. You know, we're trying to build something here at Arsenal. We're trying to stick to our goddamn philosophy. And right now, I mean, we're scoring a lot of goals. We're playing entertaining football. So it's going to plan as of right now. I mean, a goal on the score sheet for Gabriel Martinelli. I believe that's his first goal of the season for the young Brazilian, which is good to see, because hopefully he can have a good season and be an important player for us. But even again, I mean, we've got the depth. Even getting Martinelli in the team is a little bit challenging, but a beautiful through ball again from Willock. Braga have just capitulated, and Reiss Nelson, also off the bench in this one, finds the back of the net. So it's a brilliant night for the young Gunners in this game. A goal for Nelson, a goal for Willock, a goal for Martinelli. And a beautiful performance all round. Another big scoring game for us. 5 goals in this one. Away from home in Europe. You can't really ask for too much more. Reiss Nelson could have squared it to Martinelli. But, I mean, the young guns firing in Europe again. Kind of reminds me of the old days. You remember the old days when the young guns were firing on Fabregas and all that? Fred Marita and shit. And we'll show. But that was it for the day. 5-1 on the night, and they wanted to highlight Joe Willock, who I also highlighted a little bit. Joe Willock had a brilliant game. He was just a constant threat. Like, he was just always getting into the box, and I really liked that. He was just making them late Frank Lampard type runs into the box, and that we already know how important that can be. We've seen Frank Lampard do it for years. The amount of goals he can get from midfield, crucial, absolutely crucial. But back into the press conference, and I mean, it was alright for a minute, but then they decided to talk about Aubameyang and why he wasn't played, and it was I found it a little bit weird. And it's like, he's been playing all season, he's been scoring, he's on form. Why you want to make something out of nothing? So I mean, we kind of flipped out on them in the press conference right there. You know, I'm standing here after an excellent performance from a team, ready to talk about how well we played, and you want to talk about a player I've left out. That's what we said. But yeah, big win in Europe to open up the Europa League campaign. You can't ask for much more. But we return home with the Dennis Bergkamp TV, returning back to the carpet, and we welcome Southampton for another Premier League. Is it Southampton? We playing Southampton? I think we are playing Southampton. I almost forgot right there. But as they were just talking about Aubameyang, here he is featuring. I mean, it's like they're trying to make something out of it. They're trying to start trouble. It's like, why are you trying to start trouble? I'm going to have another one of these real life press conferences and shut someone down again. But you see the lineup for today's game. We went with a 4-4-2 for the first time of the season. Torreira and Guendouzi working in the middle. Gabriel and Mustafi as the back two. And of course, Lacazette and Aubameyang leading the line up top. This is a formation I wanted to try, and specifically because Southampton were playing 4-4-2, made sense to match them. But specifically a formation I wanted to try in home games against opponents who, you know, we expect to be able to come forward at, and not only come forward, but they're not gonna park the bus. So we tried it for this game. It did take a while for the first chance to open up, as you can see, 34 minutes before the first highlight, but it did result in a goal, and that is all that matters. Alexander Lacazette again stepping up and finding the back of it. It's that same run, he just goes into space. And the finishing from Lacazette so far this season has left nothing to desire. I mean, he's been absolutely clinical in front of goal. The Frenchman gets himself on the score sheet yet again, finding the back of the net, and more importantly, putting us in the lead. But Southampton did come back as they took the ball off of Pepe, and a whole bunch of space down the right hand side. I was chasing back with Guendouzi, and before too late I realized I should have kind of switched and brought someone across. Again, I mean, I'm going to have to take a little bit of responsibility for the goal we've conceded right there, because like I said, we're chasing back with Guendouzi, and for some weird reason, I felt like I was going to catch, what's his name, Janempo, whatever his name is, I don't know, I never heard of him before this season. But yeah, for some reason I felt like I would catch him. I don't know why, because Guendouzi is not fast at all, and Janempo, whatever his name is quite fast, so I really should have switched, brought someone across. But if you do watch that replay, you'll see Bellerin. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it too much. All I'm going to say is look at Bellerin and tell EA, because it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. But a big chance again, trying to get ourselves back in the lead. Bukayo Saka still looking for his first goal of the season. Should have already had that first goal after seeing the last episode. And I did get a comment about Saka saying that his weak foot is obviously a 3-star. And we should look to improve that. And I was already thinking that is something I'm going to look to improve, Saka's right foot. But I don't think that is the problem, because after he missed that, I did look at a lot of his stats as he creates this time. Finding Aubameyang, good save for the keeper. But unfortunately for him, it falls to the man of form right now, Alexander Lacazette, with his second of the night and our second of the night, putting us back in the lead, restoring our 1-goal lead. Really good save to deny Aubameyang as he was played in by Saka, but the ball again, like I said, fell to Lacazette. And an open goal for him, he is not going to miss that one. But like I was saying about Saka, I checked his stats and his finishing and volleying are really bad. So, I mean, although he's only got a 3-star weak foot, that's not bad. Like, a 3-star weak foot is I mean, it's average, right? Like 3 out of 5 is pretty average. So if a player has a 3-star weak foot, if his finishing and volleys are good, he would have scored that. But the fact that his finishing and volleys are poor, that's why he missed. It's not necessarily down to his weak foot, but at the same time, I do agree that we should train Bukayo Saka's weak foot. And while I'm talking about that, Lacazette is in again on goal and scores another hat-trick on the night for Alexander Lacazette. He's just on fire. I mean, what more is there to say? One thing, if there was one thing that was certain, a lot of things were up in the air when we came into this series, especially to do with the difficulty of the game. If there's one thing that was certain, it's that Aubameyang and Lacazette are going to score some goals. Lacazette right there, completing his hat-trick, getting his 6th goal of the Premier League campaign. And we just come forward again, still 15 minutes to play. And from a throw-in, Saka playing the ball down the line to Martinelli, who came off the bench. And Gabriel Martinelli getting his first Premier League goal of the season. And it was just too easy. It was just too easy. And at this point, I was starting to think about sliders. I'm not going to lie to you, we're only on episode 4. We're what, maybe 8 games into the season, and I had to think about sliders because, I mean, it's not necessarily even that we're scoring a lot of goals. It's kind of the way to go. Like, that goal was just too easy. I literally took a throw-in, played one pass down the channel, and I was through on goal. It's like, it was a bit like, I was thinking about doing some sliders and adjusting. I guess I'll show you guys the sliders in the coming episodes if, I mean, but, you know, I mean, rather than talking about them all too much and going on and on, yeah, I guess I'll just show you guys. But adjusting, most importantly, like, the way the team's set up seems to be the problem. Like, teams playing really high and wide defensive. Like, one thing I've noticed is there's a lot of space between the 2 centre-backs that I'm being able to expose. So that's something that I'm going to look to adjust. But Southampton did pull themselves back into the game. And with 3 minutes left of regular time, we had the ball and we're kind of just probing around, passing, looking for something. Torreira turns, finds Bukayo Saka back out on the left. Passing the ball around Tierney, back to Saka, and it opens up down the left-hand side for Kieran Tierney. Whips a beautiful ball into the box, and Gabriel Martinelli finds the back of the net again and again. Again, while it was a beautiful move and we passed the ball around and we were patient and deadly when we needed the killer pass and the final ball, whilst all that is true, Gabriel Martinelli is completely unmarked in the box. Kieran Tierney right there, completely unmarked out wide. The marking is terrible from Southampton. And for the big thing is that the wide midfielders don't help defensively. That's something that I've realized, and like it just doesn't run. It's not gonna work, especially when the fullbacks are so damaged as they are. Like, fullbacks on FIFA have always been just terrible defensively when it comes to AI, at least. But again, you see right here how Southampton just crumbled straight from kickoff. Eddie Nketiah robs it from him and tucks it away. 6. Again, I mean, do I want to go on about that one? That one was just really down to them, just, I mean, straight from kickoff, and they've lost the ball. But like I said, I was thinking about sliders, and for this game, I made some changes. Like I said, at the time, I didn't think about showing them. So for the next episode, I will show you guys the sliders that I've chosen. But what I can say is that they have made a difference. This is how we're going into the next game, final game of the episode, first Caribbean Cup game of the season, and playing up against championship opposition Reading. This is how we lined up. As you can see right there, David Luiz getting his first game of the season and captaining us out. Matt Macey also starting in goal. Ainsley Maitland-Niles at right back. David Luiz's partner is Pablo Mari. Said Kolasinac at left back again. And you're seeing Willock start. We've gone for a 4-2-3-1 for the first time this season. And Ozil is playing his first game of the season at Cam. First start of the season also for Nelson. Saka playing on the right hand side. And once again, Gabriel Martinelli is leading the line up top. But we didn't get off to the best start, as I just fell for right here. I mean, schoolboy right there. I mean, I'm usually pretty good defensively. I pride myself on that, but I've been making mistakes. And again, right there, it looks like some good football, which it is. I mean, it's decent football, but I always criticize the AI for being so simple and falling for 1-2 so easily. But right there, I've just fallen for a 1-2. It's so simple. And all I had to do was track the runner and Ajaria right there. It's a good finish at the near post from Matt Macey right there, firing it in. But defensively, we've got to be a little bit more solid. Caught out early in the game, and we're 1-0 down to championship opposition. Will we be seeing a giant killing right here in this game? Only 10 minutes before Ovie Ajaria put Reading in front. And we've got some work to do to get ourselves back into the game right here. Ozil coming forward, getting involved for the first time of the series, finding Reiss Nelson out on the left, who cuts in, and we're going for that diagonal run, and space is just opening up, no one challenging. Reiss Nelson runs into the box and hits the crossbar. And again, it's just some things that need to be adjusted in this game. Midfielders need to press more. They need to just be on you. Like, none of the midfielders were running away from Reiss Nelson as he had the ball right there. And unfortunately, we hit the crossbar. But Reading right on the stroke of half-time before the referee is able to blow his whistle. You see right there, 57 seconds of the 1 minute played really was the final kick of the first, well, the penultimate kick of the first half. We took kickoff and the referee blew the whistle right after. But with that, Reading went forward. A little bit fortunate there for that pass to bounce off of Maitland-Niles. But David Luiz fell for the 1-2 in the first game. And again right there, getting the wrong side of the man and allowing him to get in the box and fire Reading into a 2-goal lead in this Caribbean Cup fixture right here. So, unfortunate for us to be 2 goals down, but Reading giving the ball away right here deep into the second half, and still no real efforts from us. But Eddie Nketiah, who came off the bench, found Joe Willock, who's, why can't I speak? I'm forgetting names. I was gonna call him Reese Willock for some reason. Let's reset. Eddie Nketiah, my phone going off and shit. Eddie Nketiah found Joe Willock, who played it across to Bukayo Saka, and we pulled one back. But 86 minutes in, Reading were going to kill off the game and confirm their giant killing, as Ajaria playing a beautiful ball across the face of the box right there and tucked into the back of the net for the game, ending 3-1 to Reading. And we were knocked out of the Caribbean Cup right here. I mean, shit happens, unfortunately. I mean, I did want to run in the Caribbean Cup. Gives us more opportunities to rotate and give other players opportunities. But Reading, they just came out and they were clinical. They defensively was the biggest deal. I mean, the highlights that I showed you guys, defensively, Reading weren't great, right? I still had things to pick at, but the fact of the matter is, we had a lot less highlights and a lot less chances in this game than we've had in some other ones, you know. And that was down to the sliders, you know. We wasn't able to create as many chances as usual, and I'm glad, because I don't want to be scoring 5-6 goals a game. That's not what I want. That is what's gonna make this series completely dead so fast, you know. Nothing kills a series for me more than it just being too easy, you know. But yeah, another episode down, another good episode, I would say. 2 big wins. We lost in the Caribbean Cup, but it is what it is. It's just the Caribbean Cup. You know, there's other more important. Now, the Arsenal Cup is something that if I got knocked out of in the first round, then I'd be a little bit more upset, because that's something that we really want to go and be successful in, and obviously the Europa League and the Premier League. That's our focus. Caribbean Cup can, you know, I mean, for the year it's done. Come back next season. But that's it for today's episode. Like, subscribe, and share. Look out for the next video, which will be coming tomorrow. Until next time, peace.
Wake up, get up.